Okay, y'all. I think we finally have made it to the beginning of our session. This will be the third time this evening that I'm doing a rambling intro to our show. And honestly, I'm a little tired, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't think I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna just hop right into it. Hopefully everyone can hear me.
Yep, we got you.
Sorry, son. What did you say?
I swear to God.
I can hear you.
Don't don't do this to me.
I can hear you.
We're just gonna do our recap, okay? We're gonna hop right into it. We're gonna do our recap. Thank you for everyone for your patience and let's get this show started. I think you were gonna do the recap,
Yeah, I was going to
Mitch.
take it over. Welcome, all you lovely people, to our Friday night stream of Dungeons and Dragons with our friends here. That we've been telling a story for quite some time now, and well, it's only fitting that we invited you to hear it. And well, our story would be nothing without an introduction. And last week on Diabolic Designs, we found our party members about their business in the circus, as any other day might provide, and the last mission they had been on was fruitful to give them some information on Aldous Maystar, a very powerful wizard from the realm. Supposedly his deepest thoughts had been sacked. We found him on the outskirts of the Underdark, amidst some unstable shards of magic, and we rescued him, only to find I think it was just a single great worm. We didn't wake the second purple great worm, and Slayer, Chimera, and Dream were quite the little crew there. It was some short work, and they made their way back to the Cirque Magnifique, to which they would probably be having some questions left for Aldous to get to the bottom of this.
A recap and a preamble. We're blessed today. Maybe this is a new tradition. Maybe everyone has to do a ramble before the recap now. San no longer rambles at the beginning of sessions. I'm just gonna
You know,
slowly pass more and more off to you guys, and like I'm basically just not gonna be DMing by the end of this. It's gonna be great.
yeah, will this be a facilitated D&D?
Yes. It's honestly, I think you guys got it. You basically do that now.
And that's when the Fire Nation attacked.
All right. Never mind. Never mind. Privilege is revoked. No, that was a great recap, Mitchell. Take your well-deserved inspiration. You can tell the DMs and players, you know. You can tell when a DM is a player and a player is a DM. You can just see it in the things that they do. I see you. I see you. Well, with all that being said, it is time for us to delve into the depth of our story. That gets Cirque Magnifique with perhaps a night's rest. The war room has commenced a meeting with many things on the horizon and a very important and new arrival. Baron Raku, the Gede family, Ambassador Ticania, as well as Dante, chosen of the Theros pantheon, and Gloombringer himself, the greatest performer the verse has ever seen. Samedi is the first to speak, as the last arrival makes it to the table. As you all know, Igwilith has been plaguing us with nightmares, has stepped foot onto our own territory, trespassed, and has stolen from us perhaps what has been most vital to our family. She has left a deep wound, a hole within us. These nightmares, they persist and have taken more than we can give. And with saying this, his eyes shift slightly to where Baron Raku is seated. You, like all of us, he says, gesturing across the table, know very well the danger in dreams, in nightmares alone. And Igwilith continues to prove herself a worthy threat. It is time that we get serious. It is time we take action. We have what she wants. For once, I believe we have the upper hand. Aldous Maystar may hold all the answers, perhaps even just one. But we know she wants him, or whatever it is he has. I say we use him as a bargaining chip. And I pose this to you, my council members.
How, from what James said, it sounded like the information had already been pillaged. Straight out of his head.
Yes, and well, on that point, we don't necessarily know what the information that was stolen was. Perhaps we should interrogate Aldous before pawning him off.
Give him a chance to offer us something. Never know, he may be worth more.
And as we all know, deals are much more lucrative when people are desperate.
I fear we are the desperate ones in this.
Oh no, you have my assurance, I don't give a shit.
I I think your boss might disagree.
No. You see, he's still in Limbo, or Pandemonium, or somewhere. I have to check my notes. Till he comes back, I don't have to give a shit. In fact, kinda nice. Until he's back, what's he gonna do? Not write me up?
I appreciate your liberalness, chimera, but let's try to be constructive at the war table.
Just saying, you don't speak for all of us when you say that we're desperate.
Well, what Baron is trying to refer to is the state of the Cirque. And, well, if your cares don't lie there, then that's a different conversation. And he's right. We can't go on performing with these nightmares overhead. And, well, if Igwiliv gets what she wants, who knows what impact it'll have on the realm.
So it is settled. We'll bring him here, and we'll make our judgment after. And in a moment, a bringer brings forth Aldous Maystar, a hunched man with a beard long and silver white that drags across the floor. The epitome of what the image of wizard has been painted to be. This ancient man hobbles forth and stands at the end of the war table. This isn't the breakfast table, is it?
Well, to put it frankly, I think you'll be deciding which table you're sitting at.
Well, I would prefer to sit at the breakfast table.
Well, I'm sure that can be arranged, but of course, nothing's free.
Not even
We would.
transportation.
Sorry, I don't understand the joke. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, Aldous. So I'll get straight to it. Not so long ago, somebody had pillaged your mind prison. Rummaged through there, they stole something. Do you recall this?
Things get broken into these days. It's just hard to keep track of it all. Some of it goes, some of it stays. But kind of scratches his head. Are you my waiter? Or is that this young fella? And he points to the other bringer. I thought I was seeing double, but I'm seeing. He starts counting on fingers how many bringers he must have seen. Is this where I order my food, or
I'll
What were
lean
you
over.
doing in that cave, old man?
station? Beautiful down there, I'll tell you what. Need to take a trip down there again, rejuvenate myself. I just love sitting by the waterside. And the sea life. Oh, don't get me started. And very clearly, this man is confused. Um, you can see clothes are on backwards, missing one shoe. And the foot that does have a shoe on it doesn't have a sock of any type on it, which is just completely unhinged. Um, and as his eyes trail across the room, he never truly looks at any of you. He seems more interested in general surroundings. And as he talks, he begins to wander. You know, every time I get into this type of business, I lose something really important. So I thought, why not just lock it all away? Make sure it's all nice and neat, folded and everything. But that's why you don't put everything in the bank, because even though it's insured, and he raises his fingers and does air quotations, the government can't replace the really important things to you. The things that are, well, irreplaceable. Reaches for a
Uh,
small tome and pulls it off of the library shelf, and he starts reading it upside down and backwards.
I'll lean into Baron. Um, when you read the reports of Aldous coming in, they said parts of his memory were stolen, but did they say all of his memory was stolen?
They said ransacked, but they were definitely looking for something specific.
It doesn't appear they.
And they didn't have a warrant! And they didn't have a warrant! And as he punctuated his ha with a snapping of the book closed, and he tosses it over his shoulder and walks over.
Doesn't appear they left his mind in quite good state. I'm afraid this isn't going anywhere.
Oh, where are we going?
Maybe if we return to the scene of the crime.
Well, it'd have to be. Anything could be better than listening to his ramblings.
I have a book on tape! It's important! It's a life-changing story!
Are there meta question as far as spells are concerned for prying in people's memories and minds? Would we have
Um,
access to anybody in our repertoire here?
oh, that's a good question. Um, who might be able... I have to pull up our roster here, actually, to answer that question. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think there is any one of our NPC characters that's particularly good at detect thoughts. Perhaps, if not, I can look right now, but I think it might be maybe Genie might be a an answer for this. Um, I think Genie might have detect thoughts. It would have been. It also could have been Stark, but Stark is unfortunately in Darkhold right now.
Mm.
Um,
I would have thought Charmcaster.
Has the gift of sight.
Yeah, this is a different
Can't
ability.
can't see thoughts.
LOL. That might be a great justification. That might be a perfect justification for this. Um, Mephisto was an all-powerful wizard. He could have done it if he wasn't in limbo.
Stop reminding us that he's in limbo. We know it's on the list. We're trying to get one thing done.
Um, you know what? Genie would very possibly would actually, yeah, no, Genie definitely can do this. Yeah, Genie definitely
Okay.
can do this.
Your ambassador could too, but he's not feeling voluntary right now.
Uh, I guess I'll clap for a bringer to kind of guide Aldous to a waiting room, uh, and I'll also have somebody summon Genie to the table.
And in almost in an instant, there's a Genie bringer and a Genie.
Uh, Genie, thank you for arriving on short notice. Matters are quite pressing. We have an individual. Appears their mind has been ransacked. Uh, Also appears not much of that mind is left. We're looking for key pieces of information. I was wondering if you could, well, help us out.
Very well. What is it that you are wishing for?
Well, possibly what was stolen. Any memories of Igwiliv? Deals, contracts, memories that pertain to her meddlings. I want to know where Aldous sits in this story.
Very well. If you bring him here, I may show you what you seek.
Uh, just this way, and I'll guide him to where we have Aldous in a side room, private.
Is it time? Is it time for my breakfast now? No? I thought there would be croissants. I was told that there would be. Okay. You just look like my waiter. The genie sort of turns and looks at you and looks at all this and looks at you. Is this what you want me to work with?
Well, I did say there wasn't much left. Uh, do what you can, of course.
Oh, it's all up there. It's just a little kind of it's like the Dewey Decimal System's little brother. Except that little brother is estranged, unformed, amorphous bacteria with no real sentience. Like an amoeba. Oh, okay. I will get started now. The genie takes a sensor from their side. Small, round metal sphere, dotted with very ornate holes. As you look closer at it, you can see that the patterns that are made of this metal show depictions of very elaborate figures and drawings, all wafted in smoke. And as Jeannie reaches out, arm outstretched, letting the sensor swing in a circular motion, suddenly smoke begins to rise from it. It fills the room, centering on the ceiling. And with the next hand, as the sensor still swings, Jeannie reaches out, and the crested ring on his finger begins to glow. The glow slowly engulfs Aldous. And the smoke on the ceiling slowly begins to change shape. You had received reports of this place, but now, Gloombringer, in this private room, you see it clearly. Inside the mental fortress of Aldous Maystar, a harrowing scene takes place. The wizard, called from his tower on this material plane, sensed a disturbance. When he arrived in the dream realm, he found his entire fortress shaking, under siege. Creatures, nightmare creatures, of a like he had never seen before, were sieging his mind. He rushed to his inner sanctum and retrieved one of the most important things he has ever known. The only thing he could think someone would come to steal. And stashed it away. But by this time it was almost too late. The nightmare beasts had already broken in and had began bearing down upon him. In a last-ditch effort, as they destroyed the most intimate parts of his mind, with the last bit of his own mental fortitude, he sent himself somewhere safe that he could rejuvenate, perhaps even be healed by the magic that was residual, in a place he had found many, many ages ago. Unbeknownst to him, that safe haven would have cultivated a dangerous creature. But that is where you all found him. Oh! The book on tape! You still... You still want to know about that? And he starts to ruffle in his robes.
uh, very well, Genie. Splendid work. And I'll look to the Gloombringer as me and Genie leave. Like, don't let Aldous out of this room, or I'll kill you. And continue out to the war
Before,
table.
as you're leaving the room, he waves his hand at you. Book on tape, wait!
I'll do my best to ignore him.
And you leave the room as he waves a piece of paper at you. At the war room table, sit down and address your council members.
Well, it appears that Aldous needs some time to recover. And, well, I believe our Magnifiques so willfully lifted him from his place of respite. Now, if I do recall, the report said there was the noise of a second great worm, but it's my proposal that we send another force back there, clear the area, and set up a, well, safe spot for Aldous to come back to his senses. Not sure how much time this will take. This I'm snapping my fingers. There's one other thing. Oh, yes, he said something about a piece of paper, but don't really want to listen to anything he says.
Why don't we keep him here? Team him up with that little deep gnome that seems to be off his rocker.
Are you proposing we make his mind more unstable?
You know what they say. If you're going through hell, just keep going.
Well, I mean, looking to the rest of the table, what are your opinions?
Is Atlantis here?
Should be.
I didn't hear his name at the beginning when Son was listing off the people here, so I assume not.
That's my fault.
Oh. Let's see. So Drion leans in for what?
Atlantis is king of the sea, so obviously it's a seat at the war table.
He's sitting there distracted by writing on this piece of on these sheets of paper he's got in front of him on the table. Well, from what I know, well, why not? I suppose someone of a like mind as this old man would probably be best at keeping up with him. And doesn't that other old man have some sort of caretaker anyway?
Yes, tempo, but well, I was hoping to task them with keeping the train in order. I don't need this babbling buffoon distracting them. And besides, don't you all think if his recovery went well, then perhaps we could gather more information from him? And, well, if not, then perhaps we just do what Criminal said and dispatch of him entirely.
Turn to Criminal. When'd you say that?
The deal. We trade him for, well, I don't know, Scorn and
Always gets us confused. I was talking about Samadhi, which I don't understand. I'm way more fun than him. But he's you know? And he goes over to Gloombringer and he kind of nudges you as he says this, tapping off on some drums. I am your in the music arts. Remember this. Don't forget. We've been together too long for this. It's starting to hurt my feelings.
You'll have to excuse me. The clones have been inundating my brain with thoughts. It's actually becoming quite a burden. So many names.
Perhaps we should all wear a name tag, especially the bringers.
We should appoint a bringer to bring name tags.
Ah, the name bringer.
I tell you, I'm inundated with bringers, and you want me to make another just to bring us name tags?
Well, why not repurpose another bringer? Surely there's one bringer who has not been doing much. Have you ever heard of multitasking, Gloombringer?
Oh, this always happens. Can we just stay on the task, please? We have a crazy magician, probably one of the most renowned we've had step foot on Cirque Magnifique. Clearly is insane. What are we to do with him? Perhaps he could be an ally.
Baron looks around. Seems like he's in good company.
What is it with everybody and just not doing anything and expecting things to turn out in their favor? Fine, we'll leave him with the old man and move on to the next thing on the list.
I wouldn't say I'm doing nothing. I'm working on this play, and he holds up the papers.
Atlantis,
point,
please try to keep.
interrupts you. Bringer.
I swear to fucking God. What?
It's really
We are talking here.
but it's really important.
What?
That old guy kept trying to tell me about his book on tape, and I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say, but he just wouldn't stop. So I took it. It's a piece of paper, but you're gonna want to look at this.
And I'll just snatch the paper from out his hand and open it up.
It's a page. And
Definitely paper.
Definitely paper. On it in very neat and elaborate handwriting, you see schematics, you see fractals, very intense explanations about magic. But you can tell from the beginning that this is a spell scroll. And in this spell scroll is a magic that shouldn't be possible. In this spell scroll, you are able to craft a soul. You are able to craft the life essence of a new being and creature and imbue it into anything. From your reports, it seems like this is part of the conclusion that may have been missing in that journal that was found in a reliquary. It seems as though Aldous was able to get away with what Igwilliv wanted. But the question is, why would she want this?
And with a very wide, dark pupil eyes. Well, I believe we just found what Igwilliv was after. And kind of turning it to the people that would understand it.
Immediately somebody reaches to snatch it from your hands.
And I'll just begin kind of floating off in the distance like I'm going to go into a monologue. Now, we have quite a big responsibility on our hands here. This is, well, not some ordinary piece of paper. But the question lies, now stroking my chin 20, 30 feet above the table, just kind of like floating in thought. What does Igwilliv want to do with this? I mean, she's already created 3 children. What else could she be creating? Does anybody have any thoughts?
Somebody's poring over the page, back and forth.
I reckon. Oh, sorry.
On campaign.
I would very much keep the page in my presence, which is why I monologued off.
Oh, you didn't let somebody get it.
No. Still holding it.
Okay.
It is all probably the same goal. Pieces. She also has my Brigitte and the page of the Necronomicon.
The question is, what do these pieces create?
Do we know what page she has?
Had to do with space time kind of omnipotence.
She wants to go back in time and create something.
He has a bit of light and shadow and space and time and soul and if I didn't know any better, she was trying to become God.
Aren't we all?
I already did that, but
And then
you
and
know
somebody almost his hand grips your shoulder as you say this.
what?
I fear you are all too right, Raku. She has the keys not only to ascension, but it's impossible. There is no way. Ah, she would be mad. She does not want to become a god. She wants to become a titan.
What exactly is a titan?
Ben recently heard about Titans. Who did he hear
Yes.
about Titans from?
Didn't Chimera, you mentioned something in our talks.
Oh, if Chimera is here, he would definitely perk up on that.
I think it was
Amira can
Well, which
definitely
one?
be here.
I was like,
Anyone
which
you call
character of Chris's is here?
it was
I vote for
it's
the
both.
character who wants to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Ambassador doesn't give a shit about helping because, well, he gets to run a layer of hell until. Anyways, if Chimera is here, he would definitely perk up at that, and he would say that Titans ruled Toro. They for ages they dominated this world. They were kings, princes, everything. Imagine a walking mountain holding a club, something that size. Nothing stood a chance. Eventually, the dragons formed an alliance between the chromatic, the gemstone, and the metallic, and killed them all. That was the end of the Titans, but it was millennia of carnage. The only people who survived were those living underground, the deep gnomes. They survived. Everyone else simply kindling to the Titans.
Hmm. So, how are they different from gods? Why would she want to become a titan over a god?
Because the gods and Titans do not coexist. The Titans killed gods.
well,
Godslayer.
a single Titan couldn't take on the likes of the current state of pantheons, no match for Star.
But in all my knowledge, there has never been a Titan coming from a background like this. Igwiliv is already an almost all-powerful sorceress. Imagine her towering to the size of a mountain, with the power of a Titan as well. A
That
creature
is
that could.
one. That is a giant cauldron of everything.
Oh,
Mm.
Nothing would survive.
Didn't Stark's little new toy say something about the coming of a god slayer?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. That, and was there not that spirit lady that we met once upon a time? Hmm. Maybe.
you know for sure
Okay,
that you know for sure that happened, Atlantis.
well, so maybe Dream was onto something with this whole existential threat must stop her thing.
But I don't even think she understood the ramifications at hand. But she is right. We can't sit on this.
Well, I suppose that brings us to what our next course of action is.
Well, we know what she wants to do now. We know some of the pots that she has. What else does she need? And I look towards Samali.
If Bringer will bring me this spell,
Get to it,
Oh,
Spellbringer.
thi- this, the scroll. Uh, sure, yes, here.
and he'll snatch it and look at you, and then kind of like how you whip open your newspaper with like sort of something, and then look at it after breaking eye contact. I see much less components. No, I. It's it. Oh no, it is it's oh, you. Uh, this I. Hmm.
Well,
I have
Huh?
never seen him speechless.
Well,
There are
if
complexities to magic that even an archmagus have not come across before. It's just a different type of magic.
well, if you're not
Ambassador,
going to do anything with it, then just give
oh,
it back
just
here then.
bring yourself some patience. And he turns to Ambassador. Please, a look. You are
What's this?
familiar with magic as I am. It is a spell. I believe these are components, but I am not sure what they mean.
Well, if they're components, I'm sure you're right.
And somebody kind of just sighs defeatedly. If you can figure out, as he turns to the rest of the table, what these symbols mean, anyone who is a magic caster, we will know what she needs to make this spell happen. I believe that the steps are simply, well, you just need enough power to complete them. But these are not regular components, not regular materials. Here, and he passes the spell on. And you can see that it is after, if you can read in a primordial language, that the spell's mechanics seem to be revolved around great shows of magic. Um, each step for this very long ritual seems to be a spell, and it reminds you a lot of Baron Samedi's spell for Ascension. And Samedi's spell took several weeks, and uh, it seems that that could be the same implication here, but it's still uh, well, hard to quite understand the cryptograms and different methods of magical incantation used in the spell, as there are many various forms. So if you are attempting to look at the spell and try to decipher some pieces of it, um, you can go ahead and try to make an Arcana check if you'd like. Or another check if you think it might be applicable.
Take
But again,
bardic inspiration.
only if you speak primordial or read primordial, or of course have an ability to read or write all languages.
I can. Wait, can I? Yeah.
So can I? Um,
Oh, let's see. Um, if Atlantis gets a chance to look at it, instead of Arcana, he'd like to try to use Nature to see if maybe any of the steps are, if this is a multi-component spell, maybe it's multi-class as well, not just wizard. It could be some nature magic or some other type of magic as well.
uh,
I gave you a bardic inspiration.
Baron's not very book learned. He's gonna roll insight, see what he's feeling about it.
Come on, dice, don't fail me. And bardic inspiration is a D10.
Yeah. Reroll it.
Reroll the D10.
Yeah. And when you use your inspiration, I'll use a reaction to put an inspiration on myself.
So that would be 27 on nature.
Atlantis. You get an unfortunate memory. Well, two of them really. One that's a little bittersweet. The first is just bitter, and you remember one of your tutors giving you poor marks on one of the incantations used, um, and your father being very, very cross and hard with you about the subject, forcing you to practice said incantation for long enough for it to be painful. But with that being said, you remember it and you understand it holy. And it's probably part of the reason why others are not understanding it. It's used for graviturgy magic or dunamancy, but as you were taught it, and as the Tritons of Theros are taught it in their magical uh, incantations, it's about the position of bodies, of astral bodies. It's about the position of stars and planets, and it's used, if used correctly, it could also be used in things like divination, abjuration, transmutation magic, and even evocation magic. Um, and as that clicks in your mind, you realize that the symbols, these components, these materials, are astral bodies. Each of these things are points in a plane, and it seems as though the spell requires the actions being listed in its process to be done at a certain place in a certain time.
The old man wasn't full of it after all. From what I can understand here, there are certain places and certain times that these steps must be taken. We just have to dive in and find out when and where.
And excitingly grabbing the scroll from Atlantis to bring it over to Baron. Did you find anything else while you were looking at that?
Baron takes the scroll, kind of sniffs it a couple of times, holds it up to his ear, shakes it a little bit. What's a 33 insight get me?
Whispers to you, all of this must happen at once, and it is a one fell swoop. She whispers that in the astral sea, when several stars converge, a star of time, a star of light, a star of darkness, a star of life, a star of the elements, a star of the spirits, a star of change, and many, many more. A list that seems to go on quite long, align directly, point to a focus in the astral where their energies will converge. It is there that you must stand, and is there that you will work your will. In this nexus, you will cast these spells, empowered and great. In this spell, you'll be able to do any will working that your body can handle, basically.
And Baron's eyes go gloss white, and you hear this otherworldly voice coming through him saying all those things.
So, does that mean she uses this scroll to ascend?
I think she just needed to know where to go. She has the power, the capability. She must know what this spell does. But the secret is where you must be. The time, the place. And we know the secret.
Well, you bring up a good point. This is taking the scroll back from Baron. This is sensitive information, and well, everybody at this table now holds it within their minds. Perhaps we could modify our own memories.
No worries. This is just a steel trap. And taps his head.
And as you do, something falls off your head and almost out of it.
Oh, I've been looking for that.
That it is a good point, but
We also hold at least 2 of the pieces here. 3 of the pieces, including the scroll.
Well, if that's the case, it wouldn't be so off to presume she would attempt retrieving some of these items. Perhaps we hold off touring the Cirque, finish up things here in Neverwinter, and then we'll just hold up in a field somewhere until we can settle these matters. I don't want it to jeopardize our reputation.
As long as I get to show my play at least once. I've worked a long time on this. Honestly, Gloombringer, I think he'll be proud of me.
I can't wait to see it, Atlantis. And just with a quick glance, I'm gonna look at this scroll with an Arcana check of a 21. Does it appear to be anywhere near remotely in my capabilities to wield this?
you can't exactly read it right now, but you know exactly what people were saying about it. So you can kind of understand some of the things that are going on, with sort of an innate magical ability and being so powerful yourself. But this spell takes astral power. It literally is based around astral bodies, with some. You think, yes, it's possible for you to do. You think, upon looking at it, you actually think, wow, actually, anyone who understands this can do this. It's whether or not they would survive using this very, very powerful magic and whether or not
Mm.
their forms can handle it. Um, it's
I
about
feel
being in
like
the right place at the right time.
Glimbringer
And
would
that,
be intrigued
mm,
and would have new aspirations on the horizon. And he would then kind of just nonchalantly slip it into his bag of holding and continue the conversation. So, well, we have found the information we're looking for, but we're talking ourselves into circles. What do we plan to do with the Gwiliv? What's our next move? How do we approach this?
I do think it is a good idea to let her come to us rather than waste our resources looking for her.
It pains me, but we do need to uh get Scorn back
Hmm.
and put a stop to the vanguard of terror.
And where is Scorn again?
He was lost in the dreaming. I have no idea if he is still there. But we do have a powerful diviner.
Yes, we can surmise that Scorn's captive with Igwilliv. Crazy idea, bear with me. Perhaps we set up a bargain. We propose the information at hand. And, well, we double cross. Merely lift Scorn from her hands and retreat back to the circus. Perhaps it would rustle the nest enough to get her to come out to face us on our own terms.
I love that idea. However, she has literally taken a page and a person from us, where all of you have stood motionless, oblivious to it.
That is a fair point.
Is it Atlantis? Did I not mention earlier in the meeting about constructive statements?
I am simply agreeing with what Baron said. Do not get your panties in a twist with me.
Listen, don't go brown nosing to the other members of the council. You just showed up here. We can change that.
Well, perhaps if you gave me a reason to brown nose you, I would do it more often.
I think we have our newest show.
and then just like I'll float down to the table just so that I can slam it with my fist and say, "God damn it, we're digressing again."
Everyone is so on edge these days. Ambassador, Gloombringer. It's not like a circus at all.
I feel like I'm the only one proposing ideas.
We
Perhaps
cannot
I'll.
wait. You may not like this idea, but we cannot do this right now with our powers as they are. We need to send a small team like we did for that Hex child to get the Lord of the Eighth Layer. We need a powerful wizard if we are going to stand against Vile, and this one is clearly useless.
I'm useless. Just don't care. Again, this is better for me.
You know, and this really is the difference between being self-employed. I must say. Well, so be it. We put together a squad. We go to Lymbo. We bolster our allies.
And somebody raises a hand to go into Limbo.
Yes, somebody.
Oh, he was just voting. He was voting.
Oh. We don't vote like that anymore. Somebody. We all decided. Actually, it's a verbal vote now.
Oh, well, you know where I want to go.
So that's one for Limbo. But I'll put my hat in. That is two. I assume Ambassador's three. We can just move on with that. Atlantis.
I have no issue with it. I vote for it as well. It'd be good to have a stronger army.
And Baron,
Seems yet again we put finding Vile on the back burner.
We know where she is, but we cannot do this alone. This is perhaps our last step before we move forward. We need to cover our bases and be prepared. I promise, Raku, we will save Brigitte.
and well, I mean, the more gods we can put into this fight, the better, as they have the most to lose, it seems.
Fine, do what you will. Who are we sending?
Well, that new recruit, Slayer, seems to be quite capable. I definitely would make sure that he was on the list. He's quite handsome, by the way, but that's neither here nor there.
You're gonna put him in your brown nosing show.
But, Baron, constructive statements, please.
You don't want feedback on your new show?
No, not gonna put. What brown nosing show are you referring to?
I mean, didn't you all hear that?
Oh, that's Atlantis' thing. I have nothing to do with that. I guess
Oh, now it's Atlantis' thing after you complained about not being brown nosed enough.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna make a show about getting brown nosed.
Yes, you are the star after all.
you are all insufferable. So, Slayer, Dream's an obvious candidate. Any other suggestions?
What about that? What about that Tempo fellow? I've seen him teleporting about. He seems like he would be good at infiltration.
Have we sent him out in the field yet?
Not that I am aware.
If we need the train, then Tempo needs to go.
And we are going to Lymbo, so... Very well. And a fourth.
It gets us one step closer to Vile. Count me in. And Chimera sets his spear on the table.
Why not? If Tempo's going, why not send the old man?
Isn't the old man babysitting the older man?
Send them both. It'll do him good.
No, we're not... Baron, what... Are you even in your right mind these days? We're sending a bat-crazy wizard to Lymbo.
To find a demon crazy wizard in Limbo that got himself trapped.
I don't see how these things correlate. I'm just must not be versed in this type of magic. Don't you think it'll jeopardize the mission?
I think it would be very entertaining.
Keep morale up.
It's not a matter of entertainment and fuck morale, Atlantis. For good.
I want to hear you say that once your troops are banging down your door, complaining that you don't feed them enough, you don't care enough about their needs, blah blah blah.
One of the bringers in the corner that's guarding the door kind of sniffles, and the other bringer on the other side of the door kind of like just leans over and is like, "No, it's okay, man. Just be strong." And you hear whispers, but he doesn't feed us.
Um, where are we?
All right, so Dream, Chimera, Tempo, and
Slayer.
Slayer.
Slayer. You don't want to switch in Z? We successfully talked you out of it in your freaking midlife crisis, mid god crisis, fucking over here. Like, goddamn,
No, they
get your
can both
wife
go.
back.
They can all
We'll get
go.
her back. I
Someone's got to
promise.
pilot the train, and why not have a buddy? You know.
We got fucking ambassador over here, like, I don't feel like it, and then we got Aaron over here, like,
I
I
don't feel
don't
like
feel like
finding my
it.
boss. I don't feel like finding the person that writes my checks.
Cool. All right, yeah, we got a squad.
All right, get them
We're
together.
sending Tempo out into the field.
All
Excited.
right. And I think this is a good point for us to fade from the war room table as Storybringer brushes in and uh, looks to you, Atlantis. There's a big problem.
What sort of problem?
A big one.
Is Jewelbringer being a priss again? Do I need to talk to him?
It's worse.
Worse than Jewelbringer. Very
And he
well,
just
give us
nods
a moment.
and
Give us a moment to finish this meeting.
and okay. And Storybringer heads back out.
Apparently, I have something to deal with. Is there anything else on the table we need to talk about?
No, I think everything has been addressed. I'll have several bringers sent to their respective magnifiques to get the crew together. Send them out post haste.
Very well, I shall be departing then. Atlantis stands up, gathers up all his papers and his pens, and walks out.
As we fade to black with the war room table meeting adjourned. We're going to take a quick break here so we can grab some water and we can put some things together for ourselves.
Okie dokie. I shall be right back.
Tee hee hee.
Welcome back. As we fade back to the realm of Toral, we find our agents on the way to their mission deep into Limbo. As the circus bustles around them, the ones called by Gloombringer and the Bringers have been gathered here. Gonna change the audio here. Slayer, you're the first one to arrive at the gates. You're packed, rifle compact and on your back. Looks like a small, uh, almost case that's strapped to your shoulders in its offline mode. Safety's on, so to speak. Kids and people run around on the set or the circus grounds.
Sure hope these magnifiques don't take forever.
As
I
you're waiting,
wonder who they got me partnered up with, anyways.
as you're waiting, there's a little girl waiting to get on a ride, seemingly alongside her older brother. He reaches down and picks a little cotton candy off of her cone, and she starts to whine and cry. She swings and misses and falls and drops her cotton candy on the ground. She starts to cry. Dream, who's arriving, sees this. Walking by, she pulls something out from behind her back as she helps the little girl to her feet. And there's a new cone of cotton candy. She smiles down at the little girl, who takes the cone and pinches her brother. She makes her way over to you.
It is quite refreshing here, I must say. Little slice of average. No, I can't go quite that far.
What do you think you're doing over there?
I'm sorry?
Do you honestly think you were helping that little girl?
Sometimes little dreams need to come true so that the big ones can too.
We should face our problems directly.
Yes, I agree. I prefer to face my problems with cotton candy in my hand, though. And I reach behind my back again and offer cotton candy to Slayer.
And I won't even react to it, and I'll just reach to my hip and pull out a cigar and light it and keep walking away from the scene. Best
As
be
you
going.
can see Chimera approaching, or Chimera, you can see as you're approaching, one of the two quoted symbolings pulls out a cigar as the other pulls out cotton candy. See the strange oddness in their very opposite duality.
There's enough days for seriousness. Chimera's going to go to Dream and going to have a little tuft of cotton candy while we wait.
Oh, here, help yourself.
Thank you. What is this? This blue? This blue tastes like blueberry.
I was inspired the other day. I'm working on a nutmeg flavored cotton candy. It's still missing a certain je ne sais quoi. Think uh, needs more croissant.
You have been spending too much time with the barons to be dropping phrases like "je ne sais quoi."
This place is infuriating. I will be happy when it's all said and done.
Down the lane of the main circus strip, Tempo begins to make their way down. On either side, the vendors, the people, the commoners seem to blur past. And soon, around you, Tempo, the sounds of the world begin to fade in the background. Suddenly, the silence becomes deafening. The color fades from everything around you. And just like on the edge of the abyss, it seems that there's an echo of cries, of whispers, something empty.
I thought I had taken care of these whispers. Do these sound similar to when Spirit was trying to reach me?
They do. The clearness of them is much more defined, and just as soon as they start, you hear Spirit's voice. The pieces are coming together. Please, heed my call.
I have made my decision already. Leave me in peace.
As the color to the world snaps back, and you find Dream standing in front of you, waving to get your attention.
My apologies. I was lost in thought.
Temple, I apologize. I didn't see you earlier when you left the temple. But when you were meditating, did you find the answers you were looking for?
I'm still trying to make sense of it, but I believe so. I am going to continue my work here for now, despite what dangers it may bring. Have either of you seen my Master Z around?
No sign. He does hang out with that hammer woman quite a bit.
Giganta. Very well, perhaps I will try there next. In the
Are you
meantime, things seem calm around here.
Are you all ready to leave now? DM question. Since you gathered?
Yes, let's
Oh,
be gone.
Slayer's here?
Yep.
Still here, I should say.
Yep.
The, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the only thing I would like to do just as a sort of background thing is arrange for Shayna to check in on Hex just a couple times. Bring them a meal, offer them the chance to, have a quiet space, that sort of thing, while we're
Oh,
gone.
that's sweet.
Tempo will approach Slayer, his hands behind his back. We have not had a chance to talk yet, but we have met before. I am not sure you will recognize me.
Can't say I do.
You and I are both apprentices of the same man.
Z?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
this day just keeps getting stranger and stranger.
It's a small world. After all,
Dream, will you shut up?
I would like to inform you that that is the incorrect melody for that song.
Oh, God.
Guardian's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole
That
wide
is
world
correct.
in his hands.
Of all the people they
What sorry you are?
sent me out with. God.
But my name is Tempo. The last time you saw me, I was quite a bit more fleshy.
Last time I saw you,
It was a while ago.
well,
You may not remember.
can't say I do.
Very well,
Pleasure.
then best not to dwell on it.
I assume you know who I am, then.
I do. Master Z still talks about you from time to time. I believe we are all gathered and ready to go.
And they all nod and turn to you. You won't be able to take the train with you, because it means you would have to take the whole circus. But Tempo has enough power in himself, just with the connection of the train, to be able to traverse space easily.
There's definitely a spell for that here somewhere. Many spells, in fact. Plane shift, where is it? At least I thought I did. There it is. So I'll use a charge from the orrery to cast plane shift on us.
And in an instant, the four of you zip from the carnival grounds.
and what are we doing in Limbo again? Rescuing someone?
Rescuing someone named Mephistopheles, from what I've gathered.
Getting one step closer to the Titans.
Seems to be a simple mission. Same as the last one, Dream. I'll cover you and you pull them out.
In and out then.
And in an instant, a plane of pure chaos erupts around you as you begin to fall from the astral space in between the cirque and your destination.
I'll pull a couple of spectral wings of moonlight over myself to buffer from the chaos.
A
Generation
roiling
training.
soup,
That's right.
a roiling soup of impermanent matter and energy. You see perhaps some of the most impossible things to grace your mind. Forms titanic in size, flitting about this ravaging space in speeds you did not think were possible. As you touch ground, you find it melts around your feet at Slayer. Quickly, you pull out your board between your two boots and begin to hover through the rocky turmoil. Tempo dodges several arcs of multicolored lightning as they rip down from the sky, almost knocking you free from your levitation. Strange sparks of wild magic bounce off of your lunar shield, and the psionic energies that protect Chimera create a barrier that save you from the reckoning. You see biomes, tears through reality, creatures lost, fighting. You see Lymbo in its full nature, and it is breathtaking. The rules that you once thought applied to all things do not matter here. But you must take yourself from your awe, and you must move forward, as you have a mission, and the world here is much more dangerous than you're used to.
Someone know where we're going?
Well, not exactly. I guess we could just take a quick look around.
Looking at my stuff here.
I'll do it. Just an immediate surveillance of the area. 22 investigation. I have a passive 26.
As far as you can tell, Slayer, the ups and downs of Limbo do not lend itself to any type of straightforward navigation. All of your systems are going wonky. There's too much interference. But Tempo, you were given magical coordinates that should be able to help you locate where Charmcaster had predicted Mephisto would be. Uh, there's a small, almost like trinket of a small like glass orb, almost like a scrying orb, but you would be able to use that to help you get there.
Okay, yeah, and I was looking through um so here's a question about the orrery and all of its pieces. Can I, since I'm still attuned to the orrery but not currently hooked up to it, can I still use the features that it gives me?
Yes, you
Okay,
can.
because the timepiece does have turn by turn directions that I can use. Any location within 10 miles that is known to at least one creature also within 10 miles. Um, Combine that with the coordinates that that I was given to plot out a route there.
Perfect co-location. And the thing that confuses you most is that the first thing Tempo does while looking into this orb is mindlessly walk into a raging, flaming hole.
Seeing this and being a little nervous, I'm going to cast guidance on our navigator. Just give him a little extra oomph because I don't have confidence right now.
He walks into the hole and disappears.
Reem, thinking nothing of it, follows right behind. There, there are stranger things in the minds of men.
Chimera's going to say a silent prayer and then follow along.
Oh God, please
Uh,
don't let me die
I'm
today.
I'm gonna look at all my computers just being wonked out and just say, "Fuck this," and walk through it.
And, uh, and you all die. No, kidding. Totally kidding.
The end.
Campaign 4.
Campaign 4. Now who's off time? Come on now. No, still me because it was supposed to end. Yeah. Anyway, as you continue forth, you find that the path to your destination through Limbo is one that would break minds. On the other side of that portal was a realm of ice, of sea that was frozen over completely. But as Tempo broke through the ice, underneath, you fell back into the rolling void. Into yet another sea, but one of ooze. And as it drug you along a current, you found yourself tumbling down the side of a mountain. To stand on its edge and walk across its ledge, each of you lifting yourself into the space of the void, all capable of flying, find that in the void you lose yourself. The earth behind you disappears, and suddenly stars erupt around you. But Tempo holds steadfast, swimming through the blackness towards a lone star that grows brighter and larger as you get closer. As soon as the light blinds you, you find yourself standing on top of a large pillar, overlooking another landmass. Broken bridges lead to it. Strange crystals protrude from underneath. And what looked to be the remnants of chains of a magical sigil are left behind, broken. You've arrived, Tempo, at your destination.
Hmm. These are the coordinates. Very well. See, and describe to me again what we saw. I'm sorry.
You see broken
in this.
chains and a magical
Okay.
sigil on the ground of this almost
Okay.
what is it called? A brocade when people are put, or the stocks. It looks
A
what it looks
stockade, yeah.
like. Yeah, what it looks like is two large stone pillars that are inscribed with runes, had chains hanging from the top of them. You would think that those would be used to hold some creature's arms, a massive creature it seems. And at the base of those two pillars, is a very large encircled sigil, with lots
Okay.
of other runes as well. But the chains are broken and there is nothing there.
Hmm.
Hmm. Either he has escaped, or perhaps the sigil is keeping him hidden.
Let's confirm. Can I cast? So I like to cast Find the Path for this person that we're hunting for. Oh, it takes a minute. So retcon slightly. Chimera is going to go silent. He'll begin uh, muttering some holy words while picking up some divination tools, and he'll be doing that for another 54 seconds.
And as Chimera begins to cast a small ritual, the others begin to peer in as well. Any other checks that you would like to make on the scene?
Let's see. I'm checking. Okay. Check my
Um,
spells.
I would switch to my supernatural radar on my visor. If there's any invisible creatures, objects with visual illusions, I would succeed on perceptions of them, shape changing, and transformations via magic, and ethereal plane.
And you reach down, kind of tap on your tech to try to get the fritz out of it. And it sparks for a moment, but starts up. And you see all the readings do have an unimaginable amount of interference. But through the working systems, you can see that what you're looking for isn't here. Nothing hidden. But you notice that the chains have a soft glow about them. Seems that the radar is picking up residual magic. The same with the pillars. The You would expect the same to happen with the circle, except there's no residual magic at all, as if it was completely dispelled. You would understand that to mean someone probably had to come and undo the workings of the spell.
I'm not sure if this thing's working right, but ain't nothing here.
Now, use this, not dispel, detect magic wait, do I have detect magic?
Dream's gonna look for
Yeah.
more mundane things. Is there any footprints or scuffs or anything seems like someone's been here?
Apparently I don't.
Investigation checks or anything like that?
26, but I'll make one. 22.
26 for what? Was that your
Investigation.
first one? Was that what your first one already, or?
It was the same as the last. It was the same roll.
Gotcha.
Dream gets a 2.
Okay. From what you can tell, Slayer, that no creature touched the ground here. But your readings start to pick up evidence that uh, something must have come and dispelled this magic.
Well, looks like somebody beat us to our job.
Hmm. Then the question is who, and where are they now?
And if he's not back yet, who would break someone out just to imprison them again?
Someone who could use him, perhaps.
Dream does a little self-reflection.
Well, I'm no good with magic or any of that arcana business. Perhaps one of you could take a look. Maybe you could find, I don't know, some trace or clue or something.
Let's
Dream
see.
Dream picks up a twig and looks very hard at it.
Yep, it's made of wood, all right.
I know it means something. Just can't figure out what.
Um, let's. Okay, there's obviously nothing there. Back over here. Da-da-da. No. Oh.
Dream.
Yes, look at this.
No, forget that. I'm not sure how your whole dream thing works, but say whoever freed Mephistopheles, well, probably isn't on the same side as him. So perhaps he's incapacitated or asleep. Maybe we could find him in your dreams?
Finding them in my dreams isn't very useful, but maybe we can find them in their dreams?
Well, I told you, Dream. I don't know how it works.
Let me think. And she kind of pauses like she's talking to someone, but no one around. Okay, we can try. Do we all want to go, or?
Well,
It is best to stay together, I believe.
it's looking
Although-
around. It's probably best not to stay here.
Although I do not sleep, are you able to bring me to the dreaming?
It is challenging. You can. There's many ways to fall asleep.
Well, perhaps we just find his location, and then we'll all go together in the real world.
Hey, Son, is the minute up on Find the Path?
It is.
Does that help? Let's see, what's the range? I should have looked that up before asking you. as long as they're on the same plane of existence, you know how far it is and what direction it lies.
Unfortunately, you don't find a path to the Lord of the Eighth Layer.
Hearing that, I shudder a little bit. I thought this was a friend of yours. Eighth layer of hell. But he's not here. Not on this plane.
It is troubling.
Well,
Well,
shit. Let's get out of here then.
So, Son, I got a question for you.
Mm.
Chimera's going to do a Arcana check on the sigil that's been broken. And I'm sort of wondering if arcane magic is sort of like a campfire. Like, if you can tell that it's been, like, gone cold for weeks, or if it's, like, recently been put out. So, let's see how the Arcana goes. 30. Trying to figure out how long ago it was broken.
It seems like it's been broken for quite some time. Per-
As I lift my hands up from the sigil, I'll add to the group. This the sigil's been dormant for a long time. This is not a recent development. Wherever your friend is, they've been gone for a while.
Hmm. Tempo is going to approach the pillars and look for any physical evidence that may have been left behind.
I already did that. I found this twig.
Of course, but best to be thorough. Make an investigation check. Yeah. Okay. And what can I add to that? Double check my sorcery sheet. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, that doesn't help. Okay, so 21 investigation.
Um, the brakes on the chains seem to almost have been melted away. Um, and it seems as though it's left almost a necrotic aftermath in sort of energy signature, as if like almost like a dark void like acid tore through this chain. Um, you you're also quite sure you can kind of back up Slayer's claims that this has been done quite some time ago. You might be able to lock it down a little closer, maybe 3 or 4 10 days, so 3 or 4 weeks.
Definitely some necrotic energy. Happened within the last few weeks at least.
Has my mother been here?
Are you rolling a mother check?
Yes. It's very similar to the petty check.
That's a throwback.
You're not sure.
Hmm.
That would be really hard to just know.
And Slayer said these chains were magical of some sort. At least probably before they were broken.
Yes.
Commander's going to close one set of eyelids and start looking at the room from a different perspective. Specifically true sight, and he's wondering if there's any divination orbs or anything like that within 120 feet watching the party.
Interesting. Wait, repeat that one more time.
Okay, so Chimera's know that this is a place of power that someone's been broken out of or escaped from. So he's curious if there's someone watching them through with a divination orb or something like that. Just watching the
Okay.
space. So he's flipping to true sight to try and gather sort of that perspective.
Hmm. Uh, luckily, luckily you're paranoid, but it you're able to reassure yourself that you're not being watched. Uh, as you look around and scan for any type of invisible sensor, you see that there are none watching. Um,
Better be safe than sorry. I'm glad I checked.
And as he's doing that, I'm going to use Clockwork Cavalcade. Um, as everyone sees hundreds, maybe even thousands of these tiny little insect-sized modrons crawling out from under his clothes, and it surrounds everything in a 30-foot cube. Any damaged objects entirely in the cube are repaired instantly.
the chains instantly reform their shackles that you saw no trace of. Um, begin to form too. But as this happens, it's almost as if time rewinds, and you, for a moment, see exactly what it was that destroyed it. The Ebon breath of a necrotic flame, and it works in reverse. Instead of burning away the shackles, it now um, begins to disapparate, leaving behind what it once destroyed.
Hmm.
The sigil on the ground, however, does not change.
I have heard mentions of a dragon made of shadow that you all have encountered before. I'm beginning to think that this may be the work of that dragon.
Vanguard of Terror. Oh, what would he want with a devil?
There are many things you could do with that sort of power. Don't believe we are going to find many more clues, at least nothing obvious.
I look for something obvious.
Well, obviously, he's not here.
He's not.
Let's
But sometime I would like to learn more about this shadow dragon. But we don't need to do that here. Feels like we're out of things that we can do in this space.
Yes, it may be time to return and report on what we found.
One moment, Chimera.
Yes.
Is it possible you could use that path magic there in the dreaming?
I've never tried. That's a very interesting question. We can, in theory, it should, because it is just another plane.
I don't know. Just call it a hunch.
No, that's a brilliant idea. This place offers us very little protection if we're going to enter the dreaming. Be happy to try when we get back to the circus, though.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Very well. Prepare another plane shift to get us back to Neverwinter.
All right. I'm going to give you another guidance, Tempo.
And plane shift. As we go hurtling through the void.
Into the ethereal. The space in between. You can't help, Tempo, but to feel as you fall through space with your party in tow. Something watching you. A whisper on the winds. But just as soon as you would think of it, you're back at the carnival. Standing at the front gates that you left from. The train in the background. The people running up and down the main way.
I will go report our findings while you two, or even three, see what you can find in the dreaming.
I thought we were sticking together.
Well, I am unsure whether I can join you in the dreaming, but if you are willing to try, I can try.
I believe I've seen some of the local bringers with a substance that helps people be relaxed.
Right then and there, I'm going to cast Catnap on him.
Are you immune to magical sleep, Tempo?
That is... Yes, I am immune to magical sleep.
And unfortunately, Dream, you fall into a similar problem that you did before the last time you tried this, but this time you don't think there's a workaround.
Yep, you're stuck here. What a poor thing.
And Slayer like quickly puts away the crystal of drugs.
Well, let's see if he's immune to magical droogs.
Oh, well, I just assume that yeah, here.
I mean... I would have to...
And all three of them look at you and press drugs on you.
We're the evil party.
Come on, you know you want to.
Honestly, a good idea.
Everyone's
Because,
doing it.
Don't you want to be
Warforged.
cool? Don't you want to hang
Like
out with
Slayer?
us?
Do you want to be cool like Slayer,
Don't you want to come hang out with us in the dream world? Come on, just take some drugs.
huh?
um, I'm doing some research because it says I don't need to eat, but it doesn't say I can't eat, and it doesn't mention whether Warforged are affected by drugs. So, I mean, maybe because I do have some bodily parts within me.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out.
I'm really
Very
curious.
well.
Like, we've never found out if the drugs need to be snorted or smoked or
Oh,
what.
I smoked them.
Oh, you smoked them? Okay.
Yeah, I smoked them. So if you had a bloodstream in a brain, I guess,
Uh,
and lungs to receive them. But you could, if you have bloodstream in the brain, we could do it other ways. This is the evil campaign. We're allowed to. We
I
don't
don't know.
condone any of these things. Stream.
I do.
I don't know how crazy we're gonna go though. I
We
don't know
can
how crazy
fade.
we're
We can
gonna go.
fade. We can fade to black. But there's a
We
way.
can we can we can definitely fade to black.
Wait.
I mean, at any point in time, the DM can just hand wave. So I'm waiting for that to happen.
So, tell me
I'm
again,
just
how do
I'm
you
wonder
do this?
I'm wondering if Tempo's actually going to do it. That's what I'm waiting
I'm
for.
I'm curious to see if Tempo can get high. That's right. My motive.
Honestly, Tempo is curious too. He's kind of seeing this as an experiment
Okay.
about whether it would work.
Yeah, all right. You can you take some time to find a place that's quiet and private. The
Probably just go
back
to the
of
revelry.
the
Yeah.
back of Revelry. And sitting there, you take your time. And in the ritual of doing this, you find that there's a more of a mindset about it that helps you begin to interpret what you're feeling. You're not sure how, but the world seems different. The organic parts of you seem distant, like they're no longer in your mass, like they've shifted away, while your mechanical parts feel heavy, hollow, but also empty and dense. It feels as though these two parts of you are pulling away from each other, and what's left in the middle feels left behind. Slowly, you shift into a realm where this middle part sees this instance of your form being pulled apart and stretched as it drifts farther and farther away from the ground into the clouds, the stars.
I believe this is what you call disassociation.
But Dream is there to correct you as you stand amongst the clouds.
This is what we call sleep.
And Tempo's like looking at one of his hands. I feel as if I am here, but yet not. It is an odd sensation, but unfortunately I have no time to dwell on it. I have no idea how long this will last.
Think about it more like your imagination. You're just imagining all this.
I've not done that in years. Very well. Dreaming is a lot more cloudy than I assumed it would be.
Well, it's your dream. Dream of something else.
Hmm. And he'll
I've always thought that you dreamt of robot sheep.
he'll do a little test and try to make a vision of Master Z appear.
So, Dream,
Make a wisdom check, Tempo.
See, wisdom.
Dream, here, where whatever you think of becomes real, right?
No, any illusion spell that I cast becomes a real thing.
Okay, I'm going to telepathically ask you for something very specific. I want you to, cast seeming on me to make me look like Willy Wonka a la Johnny Depp.
What?
People give that movie shit, but I like it.
Oh, great movie.
Okay, but why?
Yeah, but
And
why?
And also, Willy Wonka?
I think you have enough force of will to do it by yourself.
Nice.
So-
Okay, then I'm going to Willy Wonka myself. And as
Can
Tempo
we-
is doing this, with my top hat on, I'm going to approach him and say, "Good night, Starshine. The Dream Realm says hello."
Ability check. I'm gonna use a sorcery point to reroll the d20 with magical guidance. Nope, that was worse. 6.
This is nothing you're used to, and it's not a part of your brain that you're able to flex just yet. It doesn't seem to work for you just yet. Maybe it never will. It doesn't even feel like you're supposed to be here. You hear that whisper one more time, nagging in the back of your mind. It's Willy Wonka this time that snaps you out of your daze, handing you a piece of chocolate.
I do not require sustenance, but while I like the hat, you do look quite pale.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
That line coming out of that body does not seem right for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I don't know what you're talking about. A little nonsense now and then is relished by even the wisest men.
You are beginning to sound like Master Z.
I want relish now.
Can we just focus on the mission?
Yes, someone needs to, or we'll never get anywhere.
They should just send me out alone on these things.
Very well, how do we proceed from here?
Oh, that's right. You wanted me to cast Find the Path. And pointing up, I'll add, that makes sense. Because this pipe, it doesn't go to the marshmallow room, it goes to the fudge room. So, Find the Path is a must. And then I'll start taking a minute to cast that spell.
It's almost as funny as the time he was talking out of his butt.
I like the Dream Realm. There's little surprises around every corner, but nothing's dangerous.
The path leads through the dream realm and eventually into the realm of the living and material because of the nature of dreams, which makes it such a great place to cast this type of spell from. It unknowingly connects to all planes because many creatures sleep, and that is the only thing needed to reach them from this place. It takes quite some time, but eventually, Willy Wonka toiling away with candies in the cloudy in the
Don't
cloudy
feed it.
surface. I have it's yeah, Mitchell, yes and. Come on.
Who are those little men in red suits?
And just for
Um
the record, we are navigating by ship, and just like 5 feet ahead of us and 5 feet behind us, there is a chocolate river.
Listen, I really wish that we wouldn't get a copyright strike for playing that song because that is my favorite song from the Willy Wonka soundtrack.
They
Not
come with
not
me.
yes, not the 2000s version, but the original with Gene.
Yeah.
So good. I'll just sing it. Come, no kidding. Uh, it's
Come
so
with
good.
No
me,
need. No
and
need.
you.
And
Okay.
you'll see
Oh my gosh.
in a
I feel like I'm
world
Slayer now.
of
I
nature.
gotta get stuck with these people.
Temptations.
Listen, you gotta have fun. It's about having fun. Come on.
Well, the same answer for Slayer's question is you can't play D&D alone.
It's true.
Hmm.
Um, with that being
And
said,
as the chocolate river is leading us through, Chimera will say, "There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going."
I think they would
I,
hope
I
that you
believe he is going mad.
I think you're high.
I need to be higher.
High enough to be in the clouds, at least.
Grim, what are we seeing right now? Pointing over the side.
as far as you can tell, the horizon holds a rift in the mist. You can just make out what looks to be an opening in the vast dreamscape. As you draw closer and closer, you find that it is your destination, a dream, and in it you find Mephisto, chained by two pillars, encased by a ritual circle. In the same place in Limbo that you thought you would have found.
Well, I'm pretty confused then.
Mm-hmm.
Make a check of your choice.
I'm going to go with Arcana. 16.
I'm going out on a limb and saying an athletics check probably won't tell us very much.
Every check you make will give you an answer that makes sense for that check.
Okay. What does a 21 athletics
You
tell me?
cannot widen the portal by pressing on the sides as you struggle to widen it.
I
Mm.
forgot I had guidance. I should be using that.
So
What was
I
I'm
don't know if
gonna.
you heard, but I rolled a 16 Arcana.
16?
Yep.
From what you can tell, Mephisto is dreaming. You are peering into their dream.
Can I use my passive investigation to see if there's anything that's not like the other?
Everything in Limbo here is backwards, like it's mirrored. It's the same exact place, and it's where you would have found Mephisto, but in this dream, everything's flipped like a mirror.
Uh, well, I don't. Not sure if this means anything, but it all looks backwards. Don't you think?
You said the portal's too small to just go through?
No,
Oh.
no, Dream just made an athletics check, and that's the only relevant
It
thing.
Oh,
it just
okay.
won't get bigger.
It just won't get bigger. It's just right.
Is it safe to enter another person's dream?
Well, that didn't stop you. Oh, never mind. I'm having flashbacks. I thank you so much for asking. No, it's not particularly safe. Um,
Well, this person is an ally of yours, right?
yes, he probably can't hurt us.
If he is an ally of the circus, he could probably hurt any of us. But we must trust that he will not.
Either way, our mission's the same. So whether he likes it or not, we're bringing him back.
Very well. Shall I do the honors as I motion to the portal?
I Dream is going to manifest a mirror and look in the mirror, turn around, and walk through the portal backwards.
I'll look to the others.
Are we supposed to do that too?
I don't believe I have a mirror on my person.
I mean, I should have. Yeah.
I'll just like hit a button on my wrist. My auto tool will pop out, and a little makeshift mirror. And I'll just do what Dream does, not understanding a wink of it.
Yeah, I have, I'm sure, gemstones on me. I'll use one of those, for a shiny one, to get a nice reflection. Walk backwards, looking through it.
You have the foil of a chocolate wrapper, Willy Wonka.
Even better.
You have a golden ticket and it's very shiny.
And I have the stat block for a Choco Lich for you next session because there will be a callback. I just looked it up. You do not get to use any of your other features or traits. You are now Willy Wonka. I hope you enjoy that. That is going to be
There are hot chocolate
great to see.
golems too. I've used
Yep.
them.
I believe it. I believe it.
All right. And as I walk backwards through it, I say, "We must hurry. We have so much time and so little to do." Well, we start that in reverse, and then I walk backwards through the portal.
And that is where we're gonna end for tonight. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. How did I almost cut off tempo? Sorry, Joe.
It's okay. Well, I don't have a mirror. I'm going to try again to manifest a mirror, so I'll make a wisdom check.
Tempo, can you please come through as an Oompa Loompa?
That's what he imagine he uses his wisdom check for that and succeeds and then tries to make a mirror and then fails.
Roll the
So he's
17.
just an Oompa Loompa sitting there. Um and it's unstable, but the you can only conjure something because you can remember it well, but there's a mirror suddenly in your hand, one that you've seen before, only in memories, the broken ones that you've had, but it's the strongest memory you do have. And as the mirror appears, for a moment, you see a human in the reflection. But as your vision clears, you see yourself the way you are now. As you step backwards,
I forgot I actually have something I could have used to make a mirror, but this works too. This actually works better.
and through space, through the dreaming, through time, our party delves into their next adventure. But we have to leave them here for now, unfortunately, as our time is up. So we must do our normal closing time things, and we will start with nominations. My honorable mention is gonna go to uh, Mitchell slash Gloombringer slash Slayer for always being the party member that keeps people on track. It's hard playing the grumpy character, so please, please.
Just channeling my inner dad. That's all. Let's see. I'll pass the honor to Dream for always keeping it lighthearted and fun.
Um, I going Joe would have been Chris for Willy Wonka, but indifferent ambassador canceled that out.
I'm going to. This is a hard one, actually. I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna give it to Ben because the idea of a brown nosing show is just really fun.
Chimera?
I'm going to have to go with Joe. I feel like the meta decision would be to not do Droogs, but you did Droogs.
Yeah, y'all know what that stuff does to you. I don't know why you're taking it.
I love
No one knows what it does. In 3 years.
I mean, what's it going to do? Kill my liver? I don't need it.
Anyway, since
Oh, Joe wasn't here for campaign 1
Yeah.
or campaign 2.
True.
He doesn't know what the drugs do.
oh my god. Well, but I mean, Mitchell has no excuse then.
No, I explicitly said these aren't droogs, right? So y'all are either lying to me and we didn't do some roll checks,
Oh, maybe that was just a misunderstanding.
and Dream went and grabbed a crystal off of their own tree. So I was like, oh,
Oh,
these are
it's
like
that crystal.
these are
Okay.
Dream's drugs.
It's not.
These
Okay,
aren't
okay.
Droog
It's not
Droogs,
Droog.
yeah.
Ooh, hoo, hoo. That means that Dream is cutting into the Droog Empire.
Hmm.
There
I'm
might be some. There might be some legs broken. I don't know.
Glimmbringer's got some competition.
No, no, I hear that when you do both of them at the same time, it's really fun. I don't
I
condone
think
any of this.
if we don't, let's moving on. Moving on. I think that means that the inspiration is gonna go to Atlantis? Question mark.
I
A
Or
tie
no,
between
Dream.
me and
Excuse
Ben?
me. Dream.
No.
Dream got
Yeah.
the 2 votes.
Alpha
so did
got two.
Atlantis. It's 2-2.
Wait. Ben
Is
voted
it?
for me.
Yep.
Mitch voted for Ben. Oh yeah, and Chris voted for me. So yeah, it's 2-2.
No. Then that would mean that you get it, Atlantis. How would it be 2-2? If
Me and
Ben.
Mitch voted for Ben, and then Ben and Chris voted for me.
Oh, duh. Okay, cool. You both take it. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay!
We don't have Small here to break the tie.
Yep.
With that being said, let's do.
And I posthumously use it on my 2 investigation check.
You can make another
Never mind.
investigation check next time around.
Okay.
Let's name the episode, y'all, so we can say goodnight. I like book on tape.
Why'd we go to Limbo?
Book on tape is good. Do the Limbo.
We're going
Do
back
the
to Limbo?
limbo. I
Do
like
the
do
Limbo?
I like do the limbo.
You didn't think it was gonna be that easy?
Oh yeah. A little mean. Leave me alone.
No, I mean I'm more mad at my superiors for giving me this shit intel.
I mean, they had no way of knowing.
It's all Charmcaster's fault.
It's literally their job to know. What do you mean they have no way of knowing? It's their job to know. They're sending
They
us into
know.
freaking death. Limbo. What is this?
LOL. So do the limbo.
I do Limbo, that's fair. It's a good title. Don't overthink it.
Whatever
Also, I
think it.
gotta wait till next week to find out what Atlantis is gonna find. I'm curious.
You guys are gonna hate me, but we have to see I want to see the play next week.
Oh, please.
Okay,
Please,
fine.
I want to.
I'll put my wants and needs on the back burner.
No, I want
for
to
you
do. I
all.
want to do the play. I'm ready for the play.
No, it's okay.
Z wants to see the play.
We all want to see
Is
the
there going to be a
That's three.
script, or am I going to be improvising this entire thing off
I have
my?
There's 3.
my-
Listen, look at the chat, Mitchell. He
I have
wrote
3
it.
scenes.
No, my God! All right,
I have
fine,
3
I'll
scenes
do
right
it.
now. They're not long.
I'll
but
do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'm so excited.
Can't believe you.
I
I like reading between the lines on Act 3, Scene 12.
can't wait for that scene because it's just gonna be. Even though Drayon has lines, it's just gonna be Melinda making noises.
With that being said, guys, I'm really glad that you got to join us. And if you're watching this after the fact, we hope you had a good time too. We hope to see you next week at our table where we leave the waking world and we join the real one. But for now, we are going to say good night, stream.
Good night, stream.
Good night, stream.